Hello, fellow YouTubers and Facebookers and Twitters or tweeters or whatever you want to call it there. Hope everybody's having a good day. Well, I'm going to do a little armchair fishing today. Yeah, it'd be a good day to go fishing, but it looks like I'm going to be stuck around the house today. So we won't do that, but we're going to reminisce a little bit about a couple fishing trips I took back in the late 1970s. And it seemed like all my fun was in the 70s and 80s. But before that, I'm going to share some pictures with you that my cousin Zach sent me, him and my other cousin TJ. These are the next generation of cousins. Their dads were my first cousin, or are my first cousins. And they were fishermen and are fishermen, I guess, still are. At least one of them is, maybe both of them. Anyway, the tradition carries on with the next generation, so I think you'll enjoy seeing those pictures of some fish they caught in Lake County, Florida. Well, pardon the chainsaw in the background. I think they're doing a little tree work here, so I'm not sure you might be picking that up on the video. But my cousins Zach and TJ doing a little fishing down there on the Popka Beauclair Canal. Zach here with a nice bass, and I also have some pictures that they took over on Lake Harris and also Lake John there in Mount Dora. And they were using June bug, speed worm. There's a TJ with a nice catfish, watermelon, red dingers, blue-black beaver style bait, and other baits and lures as well. So glad to see these young men carrying on the family tradition, the next generation of fishermen. Well, they catch some nice bass. They're already catching better bass than I ever caught, but I'm real proud for them, and glad they're into fishing. That's a great sport and great hobby to be into. And I appreciate Zach sending me those pictures. There's another nice bass there, TJ holding up. So anyway, check it out. Check them out. If you ever see them down there fishing, tell them hello. You know, a lot of fishing trips don't always turn out good. You know, people have these fish tales to tell about the big one that got away. Well, I don't have a story like that today. I've got a story about a trip down in Lake Norman, North Carolina. I've been there twice fishing, and both times were bad experiences. The first time we went there, we got down there and we were staying in a motor home, and time we got everything settled down, we go fishing the next morning. It rained all night long and had the boat tied up to a dock out there, and I was worried that the water was going to get up and wash the boat away. It's this boat you see here in the picture. And so the next morning we got up and go out a little bit, and it poured down, so that trip got rained out. So that was a wasted deal. Another time, about a couple years later, went down there, and my old fishing buddy Luke and my cousin Tony, we went down there fishing the Lake Norman. We left out about mid-morning, got down there that afternoon, and time we got our fishing license and everything, went out and fished a little bit. Had plenty of live bait, minnows, and everything. We was all set to go, so we fished around, didn't catch nothing, so we went back up in this cove and said, well, we'll just leave our minnows here in the bucket and hide them back here and leave them in the water, where they can stay nice and fresh, and we'll come back the next day and get them when we start fishing again. So we got about, about 500-600 yards from the cove, and the old Evinrude motor I had is an old motor, old boat too, as far as that goes, conked out on us. So we started pedaling back to the shore, and here come a couple guys in a bass boat. They gave us a tow back. So we went on back to the boat landing, loaded up, and said, well, we'll have to go back tomorrow and get those minnows. We don't want to waste them, but we don't want to lose our bucket. So anyway, we had to go back and pedal up there the next day and get them. So we go back to this motel, and it's not there right now, I don't think. I hope it's not. Back in 1979, Lake Norman wasn't as developed as it is now. So we checked into this motel, and kind of a run-down looking place, but that's the best we could do. So we were going to go out and get something to eat. So I unhooked the boat and had a chain and a padlock, and I padlocked it to the porch post. We went on and got something to eat and come back. But the bad thing about that place was the motel was on top of a beer joint and a pool hall. And they were down there shooting pool, and every time they would break, with the pool shot, make all this noise. And so we didn't get very much rest there. And so the next morning we get up and leave and stop off at this restaurant. And the guy was a short order cook. He ran the whole shooting match. He did the cooking and the waiting and the cashier and everything. Pretty nice old boy. But he had a Derringer stuck down in his apron. And of course there was a couple of law officers in there. I guess they knew him and everything. But so I figured, well, that must be a pretty rough area with him, that Derringer stuck down in his pocket of his apron there, rather. And so that was our trip to Lake Norman. We went back and got our bait and fished a little bit of that morning. Didn't catch anything. Come on back. So it was a wasted trip, but something that I'll never forget. Anyway, I guess it's an experience of life.